Hello and welcome to this edition of CTO TV. This is Abhilash Ramachandran. Today we have with us Kalyan Madala, the Chief Architect for Cloud and Cognitive Solutions at IBM Asia Pacific. Welcome, Kalyan, to the show.
Thank you, Abhilash. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Today our topic is managing risk in the customer's cloud journey. Why do you think that has become important now?
That's a great question. I'm mindful that risk management and governance, anything close to that, in general, is an unsexy topic. And people don't want to hear about more controls, more processes, if you will. But I think over a period of time, with various processes like ITIL among others, we developed a set of processes and practices to manage risk associated with IT in general and change and how IT supports the business. Because as you know, IT is the lifeline for a number of businesses these days. Mm-hmm. So we got to have some degree of risk management given how critical it is. Now, in the past, what constrained the business is that we had a very good set of risk management controls and processes that in turn impeded innovation and speed.
Right.
Now we seem to be in an era where we've swung to the other side of the pendulum has gone to the other side, and we seem to be saying, let's go agile, let's do things as things evolve, evolutionary architecture, phrases like just enough architecture, etc. I think we need to have speed to address the business needs and opportunities, but I think at the same time, given the criticality of IT, we also got to have the risk management hat on.
So this is a debate or a balancing act between security on one side and agility on the other.
Right. If I were to paraphrase one of my really good customers, he talked the way, I can't give up control, I can't give up speed.
Right.
I need to find a way to ensure I've achieved speed and I still have control.
And that takes me to my next question, which is, how do we achieve this? How do we find the balance?
Right. It's an interesting set of challenges for us because we need to, in this world, no large enterprise is a greenfield. Mm-hmm. It's a combination of brownfield and greenfield. So in other words, we're going to have some born in the cloud applications, some cloud native applications. At the same time, we're also going to have some legacy application or older style applications, right? We need to figure out how to create an environment where we can integrate these environments together, manage them in a way that's appropriate for the application question, right? So what we've done is to develop a set of practices which come together in form of IBM Cloud Garage methods.
All right.
We have methods for cloud application development, we have for data, and perhaps equally critically, for cloud service management and operations, which bring together a lot of these practices which enable control while allowing speed, so that we can innovate but not increase the risk
at the cost of speed.
Right.
You know, it's happening for me. My business is running, right?
Right.
What is so urgent about this requirement?
It's a good question. If you look at where most of enterprises in this part of the world are, they are in the nascent part of the cloud journey. This is where you lay the foundation. You're going to shape the behaviors, the processes for the next decade or at least until we have the next significant technology shift. This is going to be the basis for the next generation of computing. And as you embark on this journey, if we go off course, we do not have the right controls in place, mm-hmm. we could end up with a situation where you're going to have a lot of applications in the enterprise that are built to different standards, built to different level of quality and control, mm-hmm. and hence it could be a much more significant cost issue, as well as an impediment to further changes or further progression of digital capabilities.
Right.
So it's imperative that we get this right now, so that we don't have to pay for it later. And if we don't have to look too far. We look at the first generation of internet applications or the generation before that. We tend to have this whenever we embark on this new generation of applications or new generation of technologies. We tend to go a bit soft on the controls we brought forward from the previous era. Mm-hmm. Then all of a sudden you find your landscape has 17 different versions of the front-end application stack, and then you end up spending time to harmonize that and lose time which you could have used to building new capabilities instead, right?
Right.
So I would rather get the start right so that we don't have to pay the price, a much higher price later.
All right.
So that would be my case for why should we get this right now.
How would you summarize the whole message, Kalyan?
So I think as we embark on the next generation of applications, I think it's critical that we find a way to balance both control as well as speed. And instead of having to start from scratch, we had the opportunity to work with a lot of leading customers, and we developed this methodology called Cloud Service Management Operations. I would recommend looking at lessons learned, harvested assets from methodologies like that, so that we can figure out how to get that balance right, and balance that's specific to your journey, right? I think that's what I would advocate.
So keep your control in control. Thanks, and nice having you today, Kalyan, on the show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Excellent.